Have you ever wondered whether you should donate internationally? And how much impact can you make by donating internationally? And maybe the other question is, how do you know you can trust a charity or non-profit that is international? So in this video, I'm going to show you the answer to these questions, and I will also have some recommendations of what non-profits that are trusted and accountable and also sustainable, especially those non-profits in Indonesia. Assalamualaikum, I'm Hedi Rawan. I'm a social entrepreneur from Indonesia. I love to help people to make good social impact in the communities that they care about. And I specifically advocate for responsible giving. Before we continue, if you like this video, please like and also subscribe to my channel, because I will share you tips on responsible giving. And because I would love to be your friend in your journey to make a good social impact to the causes that you care about. I'd like to begin by sharing the good news that the global nonprofit sector has done a tremendous progress in the past tens of years, in making social impact in the world. So, for example, just 20 years ago, 30% of the world's population is living in poverty under $2 per day. But now, that number has been reduced so that around 10% of the world's population is living under poverty. So that's a really good progress, but 10% is still a huge number. I mean, 10% of the world's population is about 700 million people. So we still have work to do. And the fact is that most of these people who are living in poor conditions are living in poor countries or developing countries. So they don't really have access to good food, they don't have access to good water or sanitation or drinking water, they don't really have good access to good medical facilities or hospitals, and that is a very, very big problem, because that means their circumstances make them much more easily vulnerable to risks such as diseases. For example, malaria, which since more than 70 years ago has been eradicated in the United States, malaria in developing countries still kills about 1,200 people per day. So that is a very, very big problem that is still going on in these poor or developing countries. But I'm here not just to tell you about the bad news. So there is a good news. You are here, you are part of the good news, is that now giving donations internationally is much more easier than ever. There are many nonprofits around the world which are able to receive donations from anywhere. And I will show you how these donations to international charities or nonprofits can have more impact and can be more effective than the similar amount of donations in wealthy countries. So that's why you may consider to focus the majority of your donations internationally. Okay, so I will deep dive into what are these reasons. The first reason is that you can make an impact to those who need it most. In developing countries such as Indonesia, people don't always have access to the latest facilities, the modern facilities, education, medical facilities, even sanitation and water, than in wealthy countries. So that is why for poor people, if they are living in a wealthy country, it is possible that they still can get good enough medical facility to treat or to help them. However, in developing countries, this is usually not the case. So there are even remote areas where they have to go kilometers far away to a bigger city just to get a good medical facility that we usually take for granted. So this goes true not only for medical facility, but also sometimes basic necessities like water, safe drinking water, and clean sanitation, and also education. So that is why by giving internationally, your help can make an impact to those who need it most. The second reason is because you can help people in a more effective way. The reason is because the living standard in developing countries is usually much lower than those in wealthy countries. And that also applies to the goods and services that people in developing countries purchase. So if you think about it, what does $100 buy you in a wealthy country, especially related to medicine? It's probably not enough to give you a basic level of medical treatment. However, in developing countries, $100 can help to provide medical facility to the people in need. And this also applies to education, this also applies to sanitation, water, food, and other necessities that are generally cheaper and more effective to purchase than the same goods or services in wealthy countries. The third reason is that you can be confident and responsible by giving to accountable and effective nonprofits. So there are many nonprofits in the world right now, and they are all competing for the donors' money. However, we have to admit the fact that a lot of these nonprofits, they are not making the impact that we want, and even sometimes some of these nonprofits or charities, they are misusing the funds that the donors have entrusted them. But do not worry about it, because you can choose the charities and nonprofits who are accountable, who are doing it in an effective way, and who are doing it in a sustainable way. So in this video, I will show you examples of my personal recommendations of these nonprofits, especially in Indonesia, who are doing the work in an effective way, given the funds that the donors provide to them. And they are also accountable. You can see the reports, you can see the activities that they do directly in the field, and they are also doing it in a sustainable way, meaning that the donation that you give to these charities are not stopped right there and sometimes even make the problem worse. But these charities work for the long term and make the communities that they are helping be able to grow and be stronger and sustain the solution of their problems for a longer term. So the conclusion is that giving internationally is more effective. It can help more of the people that need your help most, and the donation is also given to charities that are accountable and also effective in their work. But maybe you are still wondering, okay, should I give all of the donations to international nonprofits? I'm not saying that you should give all of your donations to international nonprofits, but I think you should consider is increase the proportion of your giving to international nonprofits as well. And hopefully that is a majority part of your donation that you do regularly. So I hope the information that I have shared with you is useful for you. And in conclusion, there are several reasons why you should donate internationally, and especially to Indonesia. You will be able to make a difference to the people who need it most, and your donation can be used more effectively in developing countries, and you can be confident that you are doing responsible giving by giving to a charity that can utilize your donation in the most effective way to the people in need, and also that you can make a more impact. Even if you do not donate all of your donation funds to international, you can start by increasing the amount of your donation to internationally. So I hope that helps you with your research, and Indonesia is one of the developing countries that you can consider for your donation. A lot of Indonesian children have stunting issues due to malnutrition and also lack of health facility. Some of the children also have issues with child labor, and these are all the problems that Indonesian children have, and that you can be a part of the solution. So whichever non-profit or charity that you decide to donate in, my recommendation is please make sure that the charity is effective in what they do, and also that the non-profit is accountable and that they give you the proper reports and that they fulfill all the regulations that are needed. Again, it's much easier now to donate internationally, and you can start now by increasing the proportion of your donation to international causes. If you have any questions or you'd like to suggest a topic that I will cover next, please let me know in the comments. And also, if you think this video is useful, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. So happy responsible giving. I'm Hedi Irawan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I will show you some of the examples and recommendations from myself of the nonprofits in Indonesia that fits that description.